If you have been seeing a one-legged Ankh and a two-legged Ankh, and you wonder what's the difference, then this video is for you. The one-legged Ankh is probably the Ankh that most people are familiar with and have seen before, because it's very well known from ancient Egyptian artworks. And this Ankh is less commonly known. And the reason is that this is an Atlantean Ankh. So this Ankh predates the times of ancient Egypt. It's actually brought to Egypt from Atlantis after the time of the fall. And it over time evolved into a one-legged Ankh. And because there's not much been preserved from Atlantis, so in recent years there have been more and more discoveries about it. And there's a lot more that's coming to the surface. And that's also, I believe, why the Atlantean Ankh is now given back to us, basically. And I think it's a really amazing time to be alive and to experience all this. So if you wonder where do I get this information from, well, several years ago I experienced a massive opening through healing with an Ankh such as this one. And that really changed something for me because it helped me see what was possible with the Ankh and how easily a block that I had for years could be lifted by healing with an Ankh. I tell my story in another video in case you're interested. And since then, I've been learning a lot about how to work with energy healing with an Ankh like this one and this one. And so what I'm sharing is my own experience, is the things I've learned through others, through doing sessions for other people, but also working with other Ankh healers, through things I've read about it myself, and also through some past life regressions that I've had where I clearly experienced my connection with the Ankh. So in case you also own an Ankh, one of these or maybe one of these, and you're using it for energy healing or energy work in any way, then please share in the comments what your experiences are. I'm always really curious about other people's Ankh stories and to learn more about it. So please feel free to share. In my experience, the main difference between these two Ankhs is the way it can be used for energy healing. And if you wonder, energy healing is everything that involves your energy and your spiritual awakening process, etc. That's obviously true. But this type of Ankh, it feels different when you use it in contact with the human body than this one. The difference really is in the shape and the frequency of both Ankhs. So the thing is with this one, it has two legs, obviously, and it represents the feminine and the masculine pole. And what it does when you point this type of Ankh at the body, but the thing is with this Ankh, if the receiver of the energy is not ready to receive the energy, this Ankh will not do anything. It will stay cold. Normally what happens when I do an energy healing for someone, I notice the Ankh basically turns on and it just guides me to what is required or is needed. But when someone's not ready to receive that or is not open to the energy, it doesn't do that. It just stays cold. This Ankh can send energy to the body to a certain spot, but it can also decompress the energy. I hope that's the right word. But it can take the energy away from it. So basically it will constantly create a flow of energy in the body, the energetic system. And this Ankh works in a different way. If you want to work with the Ankh, just start with meditation and really try to be open to where the Ankh will guide you instead of thinking about what's required from the head. There are certain basic techniques you can learn how to work with the Ankh, certain ways that you can use it, but it's always intuitive. In the ancient days when the Ankhs were used commonly by the ancient Egyptian culture, also in Atlantis, we unfortunately lost a lot of the knowledge on how and when and why it was used. And now we're in a time where a lot of people are awakening, and that's why the power of the Ankh is now brought back to us, together with all the recent discoveries about Atlantis, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, and all the ancient sites and the ancient knowledge that is coming back to us. The Ankh is part of that. I am really excited and I have really high hopes that more and more people will be able to work with the Ankh for energy healing and can use the Ankh to accelerate their own process and the processes of others eventually. Yeah, if you want to know more, you want to learn to work with the Ankh, or you want to get an Ankh for yourself, whether you want to get a brass Ankh or a crystalline Ankh, then you can check out my free Ankh introduction guide. I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.